Okay, we're going to finish the factoring trinomials worksheet today. We skipped all the ones that had leading coefficients that didn't divide out. So I can't pull a 12 or any other number out of this, which means that the roots are going to be fractions. So I stick the 12x squared in one corner. No, this one I just made up. I'll do one on the worksheet in just a second. If we put the 10 in the other corner, what's the next step? Multiply those together, and that's where people make mistakes, is they just bring the 10 down. But it's actually 12x squared times 10, which is 120x squared. Now I write down all the factors of 120, and I'm trying to create a negative 23. 1 and 120, 2 and 60, 3 and 40, 4 and 30, 5 and what is that? 24. 5 and 24. 6 and 20. 7 doesn't work. What about 8? Yes. 8 and 15. 9. 9 doesn't work. 10 and 12. Can we create a negative 23 using one of those? Negative 8 and negative 15. Good. So negative 8x, negative 15x. Pull out a 4 and an x. If I take a 4x out of 12x squared, what's left? 3x. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and I had x squared, and I take one of the x's out, so I'm left with x. And then negative 8x divided by 4x is negative 2. And then if I pull a 3x out of a negative 15x, I'm left with minus 5. And you should always check, is negative 5 times negative 2 equal to 10? Yes, so I did it correctly. The factors are 3x minus 2 and 4x minus 5. Do I need to write equals 0 and find the roots? No, because the worksheet says factor only. If I did find the roots, what would they be? They would both be fractions. I write equals 0. What would the fractions equal? 2 over 3 and 5 over 4. But we don't need to do that today. All right. Give me that first problem on your worksheet. Can I pull anything out? Nope. So I use the box, and this is the more complicated one because the 8 did not come out. So 8m squared and 3. Multiply those together. 24m squared. Factors of 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, and 5 doesn't work. And some of you get confused at this stage. Just write them all down. And if you don't know them, do 24 divide 1, enter. If it's a whole number, write it down. 24 divided by 2, enter. 24 divided by 3, enter. And that will give you the list. Can you create a negative 10 using these numbers? Well, I could use 2 and 12 or 4 and 6, but only one of them is correct. It's got to be 4 and 6. Why not 2 and 12? They need to multiply to be positive 24 and add to be negative 10. And there's no way to use a 2 and a 12 to create both a positive 24 and a negative 10. So it will be 6m and 4m, and they're both negative. What can I take out of the top? What goes into 4? What goes into 8 and into 6? 2, and then the m. If I pull out a 2 and an m, I get 4m minus 3. And if I pull a 4m out, I take everything out, which means I'm left with a 1, but it's a negative 1. So the factors for that problem are 4m minus 3 and 2m minus 1. Yes. Yeah. If you can factor something out, then factor it out. Do you have to keep it? Yes. If the instructions say factoring, you hang on to it and it's part of the answer. For instance, let's say I pulled a 3 out of there, then the 3 would be part of my answer. Okay. Get to work.